Okay, so welcome all of you to this full moon day. Actually, every full moon is so important because in full moon, our moon energy and our mind is connected. Sun energy and our soul consciousness is connected. So we all know that there are 60,000 thoughts every day running inside our mind, maybe more, maybe less. But in new moon and in full moon time, the power of thoughts to manifestation is high. So that's why, especially 2 to 3 days before full moon and 2 to 3 days after full moon, that time actually the energy of the thought is very high. And interestingly, the possibility of being negative is also high because a lot of emotional things can rise inside. So that's the reason we need to focus. Whenever any auspicious time, actually every auspicious moments, there are two things always happen. One is the positive aspect and another is the negative aspect. So that's the time actually we need to focus on the positive is very important because anything which is the energy is high, when we focus on the negative, negative can manifest. When we focus on the positive, positive can manifest. So today actually the topic which spontaneously coming is connection with the Father. I hope you all like the topic.
Normally, we always have mother meditation, connecting to Mother Earth, connecting to your own mother. So let's take Father today.
Okay, before starting, we can just have a quick relaxation, connecting to our body, connecting to this present moment. So you can just close your eyes. When you are driving, don't close your eyes. While you are sitting, you can close your eyes. So when you close your eyes, I like you to give all your attention on your toes. Bring all your attention on your toes. Feel your toes. And feel that you are deeply rooted and grounded to the Mother Earth. The moment you are connecting to the toes, just feel that yes, by attending the toes, I am connecting to the Mother Earth. From the toes, completely attending your angles, right angle, left angle. From the angle, slowly bring your awareness up and up to your calf muscles. From the calf muscles to knees, right knee, left knee. From the knees to thighs, right thigh, left thigh. From the thighs to your genitals, buttocks, connecting to your hip, from the hip to lower back, middle back, upper back, connecting to your abdomen area, connecting to your chest area, bring your awareness on your shoulders, right shoulder, left shoulder, and both arms, right arms, left arms, neck and throat area, chin, cheeks, lips, nose, eyes, ears, forehead, and whole head. Once you attending your head, observing deeper and deeper what sensation you are experiencing on your head. Completely connecting to that sensation. What is the sensation you are experiencing? Sensations like heaviness, lightness, tingling sensation, vibration, itching, pain, numbness. So completely connect to that sensation. More and more you are connecting to that sensation. In this moment, just visualize or feel that you are watching a full moon. When you are thinking about or you are creating a feeling that I am watching full moon or I am connecting to the full moon energy, just observe while you are watching full moon, what is the sensation you are experiencing on your head. And when you think that I am connecting to the full moon, is there any change happen to the sensation? And this moment, another thought process allowing, I am becoming one with this full moon. I am allowing my head and the full moon energy becoming one, so that I can feel the full moon energy inside, illuminating inside my head. I'm completely one with the full moon. I am this full moon. So, what sensation you are experiencing? What feelings you are going through? I am the full moon. With that feeling of I am the full moon, in this moment, I like you to remember the sun energy. The moon is reflecting the sun energy. So you are remembering the sun energy. Just as a token of gratitude, you simply remember the sun energy and keep observing the sensation. Whatever the small changes happening to your sensation inside your head, that's more relevant, that's more important. So you are deeply observing, you are an observer, and feel this full moon is your mind. And in this moment, I like you to inviting, feeling the presence of your father, whether you know your father, whether you don't know your father, whether your father leave you while you are small. It's all doesn't matter. In this moment, what matter is the understanding you are holding about the father energy. So it's simply inviting the presence of the father. Once you feel the father, just observe the presence appearing in front of you. And your attention is deeper and deeper inside your head region. What sort of sensation coming to you? What you are feeling? You're not creating any sensation. You're not changing any sensation. You are simply acknowledging the sensation arising when the presence of your father appear in front of you. Whatever the sensation you are experiencing, completely acknowledging it. And from this moment, you completely allow to disappearing that presence and slowly withdrawing your awareness from the full moon and slowly observing from the head all the way down, down and down through your forehead, down and down towards your toes, feeling grounded, and from the toes, slowly bring your awareness in your heart space, chest area. Just take a deep breath, inhale, while exhale, relax, aligned, tuning in this moment. And slowly and gradually, you can say to yourself, I am ready to align and tune with the energy of Father. And slowly rubbing your palms, place it on your eyes and open your eyes. You can quickly, if you feel, you can quickly share in the chat box what sensation you felt when the Father presence is coming. In that moment, what is the sensation you experienced? If you are interested, you can simply put it as chat. Any sensation, whether it can be pleasant, it can be unpleasant, it's all fine. Pain on the right side of the head. Okay. Teary-eyed. For sun and moon, I felt warmth on right side of body. For dad, it was calmness. Slight heaviness in the head. I felt the father was annoyed. Heaviness on right side. Top of my head, heavy pain and felt like crying when dad thought. Moon, I felt very light and happy. I had tinkling in my forehead earlier, but it disappeared when I saw the image of my father. Heat on my face. Mid-back pain.
Cough. Father was asking future plans as usual. Felt joy inside and had tears in my eyes. Heaviness and felt he's unsecured and in fear. Moon coldness at the back of my head and kind of all through my body when the sun fell. Tears anxious. Love, gratitude, sadness. It's nice. It's nice to know how the father energy is playing inside you.
Pain in, yeah, felt numbness when connected with moon, sun vibration, father pain in backside of the head, feelings angry and also felt like running away because I was scared. Thank you for all your chat. Yeah, still chatting. Pleasant tingling sensation on my right shoulder. So I'd like to ask you one question. Who is the person most excluded in the family system? The Bert Hellinger did a vast research on this topic through family constellation work, and what he found is that is none other than father.
Father.
Father is the one who is mostly excluded one. It's fine because interestingly he is the door to the outer world. So that may be the reason it is excluded. He's into the outer world. I'm just joking. But it's so important actually connecting to the father energy, because when the connection with our father is not easy, we experience a lot of conflict in the life, especially moving forward in life means difficulty to take responsibility. When you, yeah,
Yeah, difficulty to set boundaries, difficulty to start new projects, difficulty to do anything, take decisions and move forward in life.
because father is the portal to the world, mother is the gateway to the life. But when we see the life from a bigger perception, from the big picture, why I'm saying big picture, because here we are not here to blame anybody. Our job is not to blame. Our job is more to take the responsibility of our life. So that's why when we look into the big picture of life, seeing from an aerial view, we can see that a lot of mothers, they experience so much insecurities because they miss their father. They miss their, especially their father, because father is the energy which bring lot of protection, supporting. Father is the energy gives structure. So when we look into our past, that missing of the father energy is very high. Even because in the earlier, very infant stage of evolution, when you observe, the mother is always in the home, father go out to for work or sometimes participating in wars. So always this mother is in insecurity, because mostly the men are, the life of the men is always in danger when you look into the past. So that's why what happened, the mother always has the tendency to hold on to the children. They tightly hold to the children. So that's keep on happening. Now also it is happening. When you are unconscious, you also do the same. When you are a mother, you hold it. So what happened? Sometimes we, as a mother, never allow the child to go to the father because the father life is danger. That's why we need to be compassionately see the truth.
And every child sees the father through the mother's eyes. Means what the mother is not sometimes what she's saying, what she's feeling about the father. I mean her husband. The children picks up that energy. And sometimes whatever she is rejecting in the husband or the child's father, the child itself picks up that energy and displays it because child is loyal both to the father and the mother.
Because one of the biggest difficulty a child is facing is connected with the love. That's why we are all, one or the other way, we all experienced fear in love. One time I read an article by Osho. He mentioned the greatest fear is not fear of death. The greatest fear is fear of love. Fear to love. Recently we did a lot of sessions. In every sessions, some or the other way that missing happening in the love that create lot of fear. So when we observe from the ancient times, every child is fearing to love the father because the father life is in danger. It can go anytime. So that's why that intimacy with the father is less. But now the situation is not, because we are not in the war. I have this tendency to pull my child. Yeah, it's normal. It's natural.
It's natural for every person to feel that the mother wants to. Even I used to do that. It's only after a few healing sessions I realized that I was holding on my children and I was not allowing my husband to experience the children. So the moment we realize that and we open that, it is like you are allowing the children to experience both the father and the mother, and it keeps them very balanced.
So interestingly, when we are a child, we want both actually. To be balanced, to be whole and complete. We want the mother, we want the father. Why? Because we need to accepting a fact that the father is the seed of our life. Mother is the one who know how to nurture and grow. But still the seed is important. And the relationship with the mother and the father is deeply affecting inside us, because nowadays there is genetical test and all that thing, but in previous only one thing is the mother who show this is your father, that is your father. So it's very important, but here we don't here to judge who is the father, because the role of the father is to put the seed. So that's why we need to embracing the father, whether the father's nature, father's character, anything can be different. But that energy is so important for our life. Otherwise, what happened? We unconsciously do. There is a one of the constellation which I read in years back is a girl whose father abandoned the mother and left with somebody else. So what this girl is doing is after marriage, she also do the same thing to the husband, because husband is a reflection of father, to punishing the father. So for a boy child, father is a doorway to the world. At the same time, for a girl child, father is the doorway to all the men and also the world. So that relationship to the father is so important, because I know a lot of people, they want a very good relationship. They want soulmate connection. They want soulmate. Why? They want to feel the connection. But this connection only happen when our relationship with our mother and father settles. When we deeply embrace the both. For that, actually, why we took father today, because when we look into the Yoga Shastra, before opening the root chakra, always recommend to open the third eye. So the father is our third eye. The father eye energy is just like our third eye energy. Because father energy which help us to go beyond all the right, all the wrong, because father energy is a protection energy. It's not worrying about our safety, because that energy itself is the protection. So that's why we need to see all the ancestors very lively with their father energy, because even you say, okay, I can receive the love from the mother. To receive the love from your mother, first you need to see your grandfather on the back of your mother. Otherwise you fear, because I see a lot of people, they are ready to give love to their parents, but as children, our aim is not to give love to our parents. Our aim is to receive love from our parents. I know most of you feel difficult receiving love. I'm ready to give love. Okay, I can receive love from my children. I'm ready to receive from my children, but I am not ready to receive love from my parents. This creates reverse direction. We all know that energy can't go in a reverse direction. Okay, nowadays we know how to. We created pump and all the system. Okay, that's actually happening. We are using the pump and do everything giving to our parents. Actually, we need to understand they are strong, they are powerful. So it's so important we need to communicate. For example, if your father is not available, maybe some of you may not experience your father. Maybe he died when you are younger, sometimes divorced, separated. So many things can happen. But still, we need to experience the father energy that can happen through telepathic conversation. For that, we need to come out from the eye of our mother. The mother is showing the father. First, we need to start looking from our heart to the father rather than from our mother's experience. Maybe your father may abuse your mother. It's okay, that is their game. We don't know what their game, because sometimes they are playing cricket, sometimes they are playing football. In football, we see, oh, they are playing with ball and they are hitting each other. But I know as a child, it is difficult to accept it. But the truth is, they are all playing each other. And interesting truth is, in whatever the play, in one of their play, they created us also. It's not easy, because we nowadays we know there are infertility hospital, that this. So it is not easy to create a being. So once it is happening, when your father and your mother come together and you feel, okay, I born, means there is something, some divine intervention is there. We need to acknowledge it, that divine intervention. So that's why it's so important, because the sun energy, we call it as the sun is the father energy, but that mind which we are carrying can be get lot of clarity once your relationship with your father, especially when you are angry at your father, means your third eye is closed. You are not able to experience the wisdom.
Even clarity in thinking. We are not able to think clearly, then we are not able to experience the Father. But I know a lot of you are with the Father wound here, And going beyond the wound, yes, sometimes we can heal on it, but we can sometimes go beyond the wound also. That's what today's meditation is about. We can go beyond the wound, we can experience the Father which is already there within us. And you don't have to relate to your real experiences in life or what your mother has told you about your father or the stories playing in your head. You can experience the Father as it is. The male side in your body is the Father energy, which we can activate today.
Yes. Anybody have any question regarding the Father? You can ask. Then we can move a little more easier.
You have to raise hand, you can see. There are a lot of relationship issues happening. Like, for example, some people go have, like, if you're a daughter or the child as a daughter, the woman, she has multiple relationship with other men, especially married men. We see that very often in today's world. Why? Why? It's because of her inability to have intimate relationship with her own father. So there is a void there. So that's the reason she is connecting to other men who is not available. Means they are already having partners. They don't want a committed relationship. This is one of the reasons. Another is that there are people um, who have relationship issues wherein they get divorced and they want to show the world that I can live alone, I am independent, and things like that. There also the connection with the father is not fine. If the connection with the father is, I mean, the proper connection is there from heart, then this need to prove to the world doesn't exist. Independence always remains inside you, and the support and the security, everything comes. I know it's not easy when you have already gone through a lot of painful issues, be it with your parents or with your life. I know suddenly hearing all this might, that doesn't go well with you all, but this is just an opening for you all to accept that we can go beyond this. It's our choice that we wish to create something different. Yes, it's our choice. And if we have come into this world choosing them, your own parents as, your own father and mother, it is because you wanted to experience something. A lot of people have told us in many sessions that by not experiencing the father, I have learned to emotionally handle my own things. I have learned to do everything on my own. I know how to handle my life. I know all these things. So this is coming from a trauma space, which can be very ancestral also. It's not present relationship issues.
And another important thing about the father connection, which is very crucial in this current period, is we all know that it's a time period where a lot of spiritual evolution is happening. But spiritual evolution, one of the very deepest principle, the spirituality exists in a very deep principle is patience. But we start becoming more and more rushing to being spiritual is because the lack of connection with our father. So what happened, we want everything immediately, instantly. Sometimes some part of us will come in that way. It will come in a natural way. It will come and settle inside you. Maybe in today's meditation, tomorrow meditation, some parts it slowly come. Even in inner child, we see we cannot take the inner child and hold it inside you. It comes to you because it's all energy, it's all a being. It will slowly, it has its own way. The love is always coming in its own way. We cannot snatch it. But snatching is coming with that impatience. Impatience is coming sometimes. Our connection with the Father is not deep. Connection with the father doesn't mean that you and your father go to a bar and drink equally. That's not I mean by connection, because so many people say that my friends say, oh, I have a very good connection with my father. We both go together and drink. It doesn't mean that connection. Even if you don't need to speak to your father, that is not mean connection. Whether you are speaking too much, because whenever we say, people have the thinking that, okay, when I am talking to my mother every day, my connection with my mother is good. It doesn't mean that. Energetical connection, energetical feeling. Even we are entangled with someone, maybe we are so close, we are all the time attached to that person, but it doesn't mean it's a connection. It can be entanglement. So the connection only comes, that's the best way is your body. That's why today we do that first experiment. When you place your father in front of you, the presence, you experience it, your body is a wonderful tool to know how much you can take your father in your life. Sometimes the sensations come, sometimes the pain come. Okay, when you go to the pain, you understand the wound you are experiencing from your father. Definitely we can do an elaborate session on this topic. You are not just sharing and leaving it. Yeah, Griselda, are you asking a question? Yeah.
Yes, I want to ask. When I brought the presence of my father to me, I felt love and protection and good feelings, but also I felt sadness. Is it okay? Does that mean that I am disconnected from him, or it is because he passed away recently and I missed him so much? I mean, I am old, but anyway, I missed him so much. So that's my question. Does that mean it's still part of this? Sorry,
Yes.
that he passed away recently, or it means that I am disconnected? That's my question. Sorry.
So,
Thank you.
while you are in grief of that separation, actually you felt protected and safe means you have a good connection with your father. But yeah, the grief is something which will take little time to come over with it. But yes, you can connect with the departed soul also. They always communicate to us. And when we are in grief, to receive the communication is little difficult because they vibrate in a different frequency. So when we are actually vibrating in a higher frequency, it's easier to receive the messages. Yes, you will receive even if you are in grief, but you have to be open to it. Every time when we are very open to understanding or connecting to whatever energies you want to connect, be it your father or anything, when we are open, it just happens like a miracle. And I'm sure you can, because you actually said you felt protected and safe, and that's the best feeling you can have when you can see your father in front of you. But yes, you have grief of separation is there.
Yeah, here one thing you can observe is when you are experiencing protection, safety, and when the moment you feel he's moving away, when he is moving away, immediately a part of yourself is feel sad. So that means there is something which we still not reach to another layer of connection where that is beyond the body, that will be established actually once this sadness, when you work deeply, that's why in relationship sometimes separation and death is so important, because it teaches something beyond this matter. So the only thing is we need to work. That's what she shared, that grief. You need to stay there. Today you understand the sadness. Tomorrow again you sit with your father, feeling the father. You can observe. that sadness slowly and gradually diminish, and you are slowly and gradually, that's like another layer of connection that happens only when the departure happens. Before departure we cannot create that connection. Sometimes through meditation, through our spiritual journey, this connection already happened. Some people, this connection already happened when their uh, parents leave. They don't feel anything. They simply cry for at least 15 minutes. After that they may be okay, because that cry is only that acknowledgement, because no grief is settling inside, because they reach to a spiritual evolution where they create a spiritual connection with the parent or the our any relation actually. So that is another journey actually. Now you are in that journey to create a spiritual connection with your father. That is possible also, because today what you realize is something very beautiful. Only thing is, again and again you inviting the presence. Normally what we do is, to avoid this pain, avoid this sadness, we moving away, we separating, we stopping, we think something else, rather than again and again you inviting the presence. Feel it energetically, make him closer to your heart. More and more you feel it in your heart, slowly and gradually the sadness dissolve and another something will emerge inside. It is an emerging, we are not creating it. It's naturally flowering from within. That's a new experience for you.
But it will happen gradually, because now the grief you have to release crying itself. Crying is necessary. So allow yourself to cry. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's beautiful explanation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Shweta. So I have a tendency to get attracted to multiple men at the same time. And that has ruined one of my relationships before. And this thing, so I am exploring polyamory right now, but I don't know if I'm actually polyamorous or it is actually a father wound. So just feeling attracted to multiple people, is that also coming from a father wound? I don't know if
Yeah. Okay.
this is a valid question, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's a valid
it
question.
is very valid, and we appreciate your boldness to
Because
ask this question.
lot of today's children come to us for healing with like these things, So we
Ma'am,
understand
I
what
couldn't
you
hear
are
you.
going
Lot of today's children, I couldn't hear
through.
you.
They do go through what you are going through.
Yeah.
So we know that this exists, and it is something to be addressed, because they are not happy with what is happening also.
Mm, right.
So very important thing is, Sweta, you can bring your father energy in front of you. Okay, you can do
Mm,
this as an experiment also. When you bring
okay.
your father energy in front of you, and also you can bring whatever the relationship you are experiencing parallelly in front of you. Both are in parallelly, and you can
Mm-hmm.
observe what you are feeling inside when you are seeing your father.
Okay.
Because the body actually tells you the truth. The mind may play games.
Right.
That is why you do these processes, so that the body tells you exactly the truth of what is your experiencing is. What is it that you really want to experience or not? Because when your
Mm,
father is present here and this relationship is here, now what are you feeling?
That feeling is not your mind, feeling is what is your body is feeling, especially when you look your father, when you are attending your father, and even you can tell to your father, my dear father, I have a lot of partners, I am living like this. When you share this with your father in eye to eye contact, your body will tell your truth, whether you are a polygamy or monogamy, whatever it is, your body starts telling you.
And
right.
sometimes, Shweta, this is connected to your ancestors also. Like sometimes your ancestors would have closed sexuality as such, and they don't want to um, acknowledge that there is the sexual feeling or the sensual feeling, or the feeling they are having in their body, they might not be in a position to accept that, and they would be always in a judgment space that sometimes, okay, this is not, may not be valid for you, I'm just saying.
No,
We have
it
had,
is. It is valid for me. That's why whatever you're saying is so valid. I
okay,
want to speak about it, but I don't know if it will be appropriate
so
in a
when
public
they
space.
have suppressed this, you have come into this world to express it. Now it has become gone out of sync with what they have been doing. So there should be a settlement from the ancestors. Recently, we did a session wherein, the girl couldn't understand what's happening in her life, but when we regressed her, she immediately connected to her ancestral line issue over there. So then it got resolved. So it may
Hmm.
not be what you have your connection with your present father also. May not.
Right,
It could be also. You can never say. Just by talking, we cannot say.
right, right. Thank you so much. That made a
Sweta,
lot
are
of
you in
sense.
our family constellation group? Actually, that
No,
will
I'm
help
not.
you.
I
Yeah.
am not. I would like to join it though.
How did you come from? Where did you get this link?
Gayatri Chechi sent this link to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I can add it. Okay.
Okay,
We'll share to her.
all right.
Connecting to
Connecting to Father at this point in life, will it change my
present.
present? It's not only change your present, it change your future and it change your past also.
And it also changes your generation that is going to come also.
Otherwise, what happened when, for example, if I am lacking my father, definitely this lacking will be reflecting to my son. Then he has a child, it can reflect. If someone will take the charge and heal the wound is so important. So whatever we do, it's not only helping us, it is helping the 7 generation before and after. I have always
I have always, from childhood and even now, felt that my father, who was called to eternity, he passed away, when I was 7 years old, is interceding for me to God Almighty. That I escape every danger, sometimes at the brink of the risk. For me, he is the first patron saint whom I think is more powerful in eternity than if he were alive, because he sees, hears, and knows everything than in his human body.
Yeah, this understanding is very good actually, but at the same time we can shift another understanding also, we can bring to experience the partner also. When you are experiencing a good partner relationship, actually you don't need that. Otherwise only you need to, some reframe is needed with the statement what you are experiencing with our father, because when I can experience my father only in the spiritual realm means I can only experience the world, I can only experience the men in the spiritual realm, not in the physical realm. They are only experience. So that's why sometimes some beliefs, some understanding need to be reframed accordingly our the whole situation. So this is a very good realization actually, and very healing one.
There is an entanglement in a relationship with partner. Can it be healed and made into connection?
Yes, any partner relationship, whatever the entanglement you are experiencing, for example, a man or a woman, whoever is experiencing, the first thing they need to heal their relationship with their parents. Both relationship is important. For example, if I have an issue, I need to heal my father, heal my relationship with my father is so important. Then only I can stay in a relationship and experience the what we call it as stability.
Even heal the relationship with the mother also.
Yeah, both
But
is needed.
today the topic is father, that's why. Yeah.
Yes, Adi.
Hi Cheta, hi Chichi. Can I ask you something like, even though both parents, like mother and father, they're doing same kind of mistake, but it's really easy to forgive mother and
One
but
thing, one thing. You said they made what they made.
even though both the parents, father and mother do a similar kind of mistakes, it's really easy to forgive
Okay, just
mother.
1 minute, Adi, 1 minute, hold on. Actually, whenever, this is very important, it's for the everyone actually. Whenever when you feel that my parents made a mistake, okay, then very important thing we need to understand, I am also a mistake. I am a bigger mistake for them. So that's why it's so important. Normally, in constellation, we feel we are bigger than our parents. That's the time we say this statement that my parents did a mistake. Otherwise, we don't have any right to judge whether their life is in this track is right or wrong. Only we have the power to our own self because they have their own experiments. For example, if Adi, when you see your son is coming to you, okay, for example, in the future you have a son or a daughter, they can tell you that you did all this mistake. Hey man, are you stupid? What do you feel immediately? Are you feel your heart closed towards your son and daughter? Because that's the nature of the heart is closing. That's why I am just interfering in that point because you need to reframe now itself that they did a mistake. It is what they did. The only thing is what you are experiencing right now, you need to take it right. What you are experiencing.
Okay, something happened in recently in my life. Uh, so I couldn't even talk to my father because of some incident happened. And what really happened is like after a few days, I thought, okay, I accepted he is my father, and I thought, okay, he do have the right to do. He's my father. I should respect him. I that's his like what all things he have done is like right in his own terms and conditions. So even though after accepting everything, I could even I could able to talk to my father, but I couldn't even connect. There's some kind of issues within me. Like I couldn't even talk to him properly. Something is there, but the similar thing will not be happening with mother. Even something happened with mother. We can forgive completely and we can talk to her normally. But with father, like this thing recently happened. It's really bothering me these days. Uh, Even though I accept him, he's my father. He do have right to do what he can. He have done so, but I could talk to him, but I couldn't completely forgive, or I couldn't get that kind of.
Yeah, I understand Adi actually. Here actually we need to understand there is a triple concept called yes, no, thank you. We need to say yes because they give you life. Okay? It doesn't mean that you need to say all the things what they are telling to you, say yes. When you are a child, you have the freedom to say no. You have full freedom to say no also in this life. So when you are not using that freedom to say no, what happens? You experience lot of anger.
You're actually angry at yourself.
So very important thing, first thing when you share the statement, you are telling that they are my children and I am their parent. So first thing you need to come down and just be like a child. I am their child. That's it. It's not to talk in their language. I'm not saying tomorrow you call your father and tell that you are my father and I am your child and behave like a father. No. That's not why I'm asking you. Just see that you can tell from your heart because I experienced this. Today is my father's birthday. Okay, I am here taking the class because when I talk to my father, he simply says, do what you love to do. How it reaches, it's not reaches in one day. It reaches many healing happen inside me. I heal a lot of things inside me. I started accepting that he is a father. He is bigger than me. I am always a small child. I am not here to taking care of him. I am not here to do anything. Even if I know when he is in the hospital, I am calling him that my dear father, what you are feeling? Am I coming to you? Immediately he is saying no because he said, I am confident about myself because I consider his power. Sometimes we never consider the power of our own parents. It's so important. We need to see your father as a powerful person.
We can also see the big picture, Adi. The thing is that in the big picture, we all have come choosing these parents who are like this. We know exactly this is what we are going to experience. Okay? So now everything, why? Why did we choose such parents to experience what? What did you get out of it? If your father was not like this, would you be like this? If your father was completely perfect as he is in your head, would you be where you are today doing what you're doing today? Would you even have the
No,
same thought?
no,
No.
definitely not.
So that means he's playing his role, whatever the role is, he's playing it so well so that you can be you today. So for that, you have to be grateful to him, right? Without him, you're not going to be this. It's the same thing. Like here, another messages come that when people leave, like when um, people die, the father dies early. The child is experiencing a fatherless life. Why? You have to ask yourself why we all together chose this. It is not just you, your father, your whole family members together have manifested this. That's what we say. Because this is a pre-decision. To experience what in life? Without a father, what did you experience? How did you go through it? And what you are today is because of that. So be grateful for that thing happened. They're still there. They're not gone anywhere. They're still there. You're all playing roles, nothing else. So if you can actually see this from a bigger perspective, it is easier to comprehend it and embrace him as he is, because you have given him the soul contract to be this way. Can you take the responsibility of that?
Yeah,
I know
totally. Because I used to support my father a lot.
so
Yeah, whatever things he do.
let's today do meditation. So,
Thanks, Chichi. Thanks,
Mother,
Cheta.
Yeah. Before that, but
that's what I said.
why did you leave?
Yeah, he passed away. He passed away. That's why she said.
Yeah, but she has the question that why did you leave?
Yeah.
So that means there is something deeply you need to work inside. My mother divorced due to my father's drinking habit. I was 9 years old when they separated. I felt towards him growing up due to abuse from my grandmother due to the. He calls me sometimes and we talk for a few seconds, even though I have a strong connection with him. I'm struggling with an emotionally distant husband. I felt like running away, but having a 1.5-year-old.
Stops me from running.
So that's exactly you are telling about that what the connection you are experiencing. This is the connection you are experiencing with the world actually.
And the reason why your father is he said was he was a abuse from my grandmother. Yeah, drinking habit. Your father has a drinking habit because of his disconnection with his father.
Because always there is a statement called addiction has the face of father. Or when you are addicted to anything, any addictions actually, that addiction is coming because we absent the father. Even sometimes the talking is also sometimes an addiction. We cannot be in silence, it's an addiction. Some people I say they cannot sit any place, they keep on walking, it's an addiction. There are a lot of addiction. Normally we see addiction like, okay, I am drinking, smoking, these are not just an addiction. There are sexual addiction, clothing addiction, food eating addiction. There are n number of addiction, and all the addiction, the face is your father. Addiction, the face is father's face, because we are experiencing something lacking from the father.
and it's not their fault. Okay, don't blame them. You have chosen them. Now you are experiencing it. Now what you can do about it? That's all. Won't go home and say that because of you I went through this.
If a person who is drinking, that person may listen this, feel like, wow, I got a yes, because of my father, I am drinking. Finish. It's not for justification. Actually, all this information is for our own healing is so important. Even if I interfere, Adi, you all see, because interfering is because it's my love to him that he don't need to fall in the same trap, same space, because it's time we need to come out. We need to enjoy the life. For that, actually, it's so important. We need to, one thing we need to accepting the business of our parents as it is. Whatever they are experiencing, they are creating. But if it is creating any suffering to us, first thing we need to work on us. What is the suffering? Because I know there are, I know one of my friend's sister, she's now a big artist actually. It's only because her father is a drunken and he creates lot of debts, and only because of that debt she started to becoming an artist. And what happened now, she's a famous artist. Who is allowing, who is creating this opportunity? It's a father. Because interestingly, I talk to her, I understand that why she grown, because still she has lot of love to the father rather than what the mother is telling about the father. She's not listening what mother is telling. She's only listening what she is feeling from the father. Even if he is drinking, she feels lot of love. Even he died earlier, but she feels love. So what happened? She's successful. Because the moment she is successful, I immediately go and ask, what is this dynamics? I really wanted to understand the dynamics. Then she shared so many things, and I said, okay, yeah, this is what I learned from constellation work. Because that respect beyond what that person is doing, that's so important actually.
Why is it said that we chose our parents when it is them who chose to give us birth? It's a question.
Both are choosing, especially mostly sometimes when you're observing from the soul plane, we choose the mother more than the father. We choose the mother. Mother choose the father actually. Mother can choose any father because the father means that energy which we, our blueprint we created, there is something resonation. So that resonation happen. Even in constellation in our work, we sometimes wonder because sometimes the mother choose, even they are married, mother choose someone as a father. But the child is living in this house with the stepfather. This dynamics happen, but when we looking deeper and into that big picture, we understand why that happened to this child. All other children, children, the father is this one. Only one children, the father is someone outside. Why? It has its own beauty there. Once you look into it, you understand it. What is that beauty? Because in that session we realize only this person is a singer. All others are not have that singing ability. This is the only one have the singing ability because of that connection. So that's why we need to see life from more and more brighter space, bigger space. Otherwise, we say, okay, that is a bad relationship. This is an illicit relationship. No, there are so many things that are happening in this world have some meaning inside. Even our own parents, certain mistakes, what we call it as mistakes they are doing, it has some meaning in our life. It teaches something. It evolves something.
We are connecting to it because we have come with the karma of our past life or from our ancestors. And we have come to resolve that over here. So we choose this family with these entanglements so that we go through it and resolve it.
It's another interesting question. I see my father as very weak and someone we have to care for. I was scared to let him know that I lost my job because I see him mentally fragile. Is this his character or am I viewing my father differently? Because you already say, I see my father as weak. You are seeing as weak. We don't know what is the strength inside. A lot of people feel it is weak. But even if you feel this, you need a courage to talk, because you need to work on the inner image about the Father. What is inner image? The same thing you observe and feel it from the outside also. Feel men are weak, outside world is a weak. This will reflect actually.
She wants a break.
Yeah. So it's so important actually, whatever you are seeing, actually we are responsible. What I am seeing, because there is always a saying, for example, if I am saying a word, okay, what you are listening, that is your responsibility. Mostly what I am saying is not what you are listening. It can be changed, because it what you listen is connected with our own perception, our own feelings. We are taking it. Maybe in the session we are not sharing that word itself, but you perceive it. So whatever we are perceiving in this life is our responsibility. What you are seeing, what you are perceiving. So that's why we need to always say that I am feeling this, rather than telling that you do this to me. I feel like this when you are behaving or you are acting like this. I feel like this. That will give a more opportunity to heal. I know it's so difficult to accept in the first level, because we are used to say that, okay,
You're the
that
reason.
person, you are the reason.
Yeah, you can actually observe when a mother is saying one same thing to four children, and these four children take it four different ways. Everybody feels it differently. So when you can observe that, you understand that every person's perception, understanding is different. They are born differently. You're all unique. So when we take responsibility of that, it's easier to come out of this. You don't have to live in this victim mode. You can come out of it. So Nishi had asked for 2 minutes break before the meditation. Is she back?
I felt my father see me as a failure for the last 20 plus years, and that I making me in a dilemma to move forward in career, financially or relationship. I'm proud of whatever I have done in my life, but the minute I think of him, it flips. Yeah, it's also again, you say the statement, I feel my father seeing me as a failure. We need to work on that actually. Suppose he is seeing you as a success, what can happen to you? Rather than we are giving him the place to see me as a failure.
Actually, why he is perceiving you as a failure is a part of you perceiving yourself as a failure. You have to work on it.
Because we all have our own image. That image we need to change actually. It doesn't mean to have a connection with the Father. This is the last very important statement I would like to share is, to connecting with your Father doesn't means you need to agree on all that your Father is holding inside. You have all the freedom to say no. You can live your life in your own belief, your own ideas, your own dreams.
And still be connected from heart.
So always understand, because we always have the tendency that to connect with someone means I always need to listen, I always need to obey. That is a child nature. In that child space, there is no other way, but we are all adults. We need to train ourselves, because we are tuned in that way. We need to obey. That's the only way is rebelling. Rebel is the only way. Either we rebel or we need to obey. So connecting with your father doesn't mean that you are telling that, yeah, my father is great, my father is right.
No.
Nothing. Maybe he is drinking, and tomorrow you are going and telling, oh, my father is drinking. He's great. Tomorrow onwards, I am also start drinking because I am connecting with my father. No. Father is an energy. He has its own personality. Sometimes that personality is not aligned with you. Sometimes you have conflict with that personality. The only thing is you can work on that conflict and accepting that he is like that, but still I have all the freedom to do my life, live my life differently. That's a place actually every parent feel happy, not in the conscious layer, in the soul layer when you are successful. Because I did this experiment with so many people actually in my life. Because their parents are against their career, I supported them, helped them to reach to the potential of their career. And now what happened? Their father says, good, embrace. Because sometimes they are against you, sometimes they challenge you. It doesn't mean that they are not loving you. The only thing is you keep on accepting and receiving their love. That's a more important thing. Yeah, definitely the weight gain is sometimes is connected with our father issue, because the father energy is the protection energy. Because when you are not connected with your father, when you are in the wound of your father, we feel unprotected.
Feel insecure.
So that insecure part want to stuff to feel secure.
So the more layers of fat you have on your body, you feel secure. That's why you put on weight. It's connected with your insecurity.
Okay, that's amazing.
Okay, we can start meditation.
If you want to get some water, drink, you can.
Shada, can I ask you one more thing? Like, in one of the sessions, Chechi told like, we may live the father's or a parent's life to experience what they have gone through. So how to, you know, uh,
Yeah, it's a beautiful question actually. You are asking how to detach ourselves from their life is only to respect their life. You can tell to your father, my dear mother, I understand through my experience that whatever you go through has its own difficulty, its own problem, but it's not my cup of tea. For example, I'm telling you an example. For example, your father is an electrician, okay? He is holding a screwdriver, okay? And you are a doctor, you need to hold stethoscope. But you said, oh, my father is holding the screwdriver. Tomorrow onwards, I am also holding the screwdriver and go to the hospital. What happened? Everyone say you are mentally ill. Your one screw is gone because you are carrying the father's energy. So what we do is, when you realize this, what you do, simply we do is, you give the screwdriver back to your father and say, my dear father, this is a very beautiful equipment, but it's not for me, it is good for you. Because you are an electrician, this work for you. For me, it is stethoscope. So I am using the stethoscope. I respect you as you are, I respect me also.
can I say something like, my father doesn't have the savings, he don't do savings. Probably you may know. So I'm just following that. Even though I have money, I don't have savings at all. So should I want to, what should I do?
Yeah, now you realize it, you can accepting that your way is not create any saving. Yeah, I am doing like that. I am not creating any saving, but my son is doing saving because he can have the freedom to live differently. I have the freedom because I am experimenting something else. I am not thinking that I'm not creating saving means I am creating, I am experimenting how the existence is helping me. I'm working on that experiment, but I'm consciously working. Your father is maybe consciously or unconsciously working, but you don't know. More you understand it, more you respecting it, what his experiment, the whole universe will rearrange for his experiment. You can detach from his experiment. That is his life, he is experimenting. You can experiment your life. You are in Australia, that is your experiment, right? He is in his hometown, his experiment is there. So you allow your experiment, and even you have no right to bring him into the Australia and experiment. Only with his permission. So what we have need to understand this actually, everyone has their own experiment. We need to respect it, whether in the way of saving. That's why there is nothing called right or wrong, good or bad, greater or lesser, nothing existing. It's only existing in the mind. We say that, okay, you are the first rank holder, you are the greater one. You are the failure, you are the lesser one. No, the failure one is learning how to face, even I am failing. How to face the humiliation, even I am failing. So they are also great. This successful one doesn't know how to face a humiliation. but the failure won't know how to face the humiliation. So everyone is good. When you are a celebrity, you learn how to manage so many people. At the same time, you are an audience, you learn how to appreciate a celebrity. So every life, every experience, everything is equally important and valuable. This is the one message you need to hold inside, that every life is valuable.
This is actually a message for the present parents and to be parents also. Because once you realize this, it's easier to leave your children as it is. They are here for their purpose. Don't interfere in that. Like we are not interfering in what our parents did or are doing, same way we can give the same freedom to the children also. You know, Adi, I know you're not married. I'm talking about people who are having children and who is.
ചേച്ചി കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. You're not audible.
Now you are audible.
Yeah.
So Adi, you can completely detach you from that savings issue from the father. Very easy. Okay, in the meditation.
Now let's do
Thank
the
you.
Okay.
Thank you, ചേട്ടാ. Thank you, ചേച്ചി.
So close your eyes. When you close your eyes, completely give all your attention on your breath. The breath which is coming to you, the breath which is leaving from you. So more and more you are observing your breath. Feel like you are taking the life energy. You are taking the life. You are giving freedom to the life. You are saying yes to life. With each and every breath you are receiving, you are saying yes to life. And with every exhalation, you are completely ready to connecting to the life. Keep on observing the breath and observe each and every part of your body, starting from your head, your forehead, your eyes, ears, nose, cheeks, lips, chin, neck and throat area, shoulders and arms, the whole back, chest area, abdomen area, down and down and down through your hip, buttocks, genitals, thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, and toes. Relax. In this moment, I like you to projecting a part of yourself to a beautiful nature space. In the nature space, I like you to visualize a beautiful mountain, completely allowing that mountain. When you are seeing the mountain, at the same moment, you are seeing a river flowing near the mountain. You can feel this river which is flowing, and you can feel my life is simply flowing. All the time is simply flowing. All my experience are simply flowing. But in this moment, I like you to giving all the attention to the current of energy which is flowing in this river. Slowly and gradually, touch your feet in this water. Experience the energy. And water has such purifying ability to melting all that emotion you are holding. So in this moment you can again inviting and feeling the emotional connection, all those emotion which is so heavy inside you connected with your father. Any emotion like anger, sadness, all that heaviness you are holding, this moment you can inviting those emotions.
The moon's rays that is falling onto the river, which is also falling onto you, the full moon rays, is allowing you to bring out these emotions even more easily.
And you can feel this emotion which is arising inside. You can experience in the body, experience as certain sensations, and these sensations which has the power to flowing through each and every pores of your body and through your feet, it is slowly taking away by this beautiful river. You simply allowing it stay there from whatever the part of your body that emotion is arising, that is slowly wherever it is stored, some emotion stored in our kidney, some emotion stored in our liver, lungs,
Heart, even throat area,
something you feel in your face, it all slowly melting down and down and through your feet. And if you feel like it's not enough to just touching my feet, I feel to, because I know how to swim or I know I'm courage to enter inside the water, then you can enter inside the water. You can completely allow when you feel courage enough to do that. Just follow your heart while you are in that river space and totally allowing your feminine energy to flow freely while you are in this water. Feel all that feminine qualities, feminine experience.
allow yourself to be more open and present. That creates the magic happen easily. Just open yourself.
In that space, I like you to inviting the presence of your father. More and more, the presence of the father is there. It is so easier for you to knowing the emotions and releasing the emotion.
You can even imagine or feel or sense that you're seeing your father as a reflection in the river. You can feel his presence with this, with his the scent or with his laughter. Or you can even imagine any situation you have had with him or you wish to have with him. Any experience. You can bring in that over there. You feel safe and protected the more you are experiencing your Father. Letting go of any thoughts that is limiting you from experiencing Him, any conditions that you've been storing about Him, any ideas you've been storing about Him, just let it go in the river and allow yourself to experience Him the way you want to connect with Him. Feel Him from your heart. Let the outside interference or the stored limited beliefs, let it all wash away and just connect only with your heart.
And slowly allowing yourself to coming out from this river along with the Father energy, along with His presence. You both can walking, trekking and going higher and higher to the top of the mountain, journeying through different pathways. Feel the fresh energy of forest.
You can hold His hand and walk up the hill. Feel the grass below your feet, which is grounding and supporting you both walking up the hill. Feel the strength of His hands. Feel that safety you always wanted. Feel that He's encouraging you to walk up. He's appreciating every step you're taking.
Feel that He is really knowing your soul quality. And in this journey, He is slowly telling you, showing you your soul quality. Whatever you are holding inside as a conversation, this moment you can ask, you can share.
Allow yourself to stop for a moment and look into His eyes. Whether you know, remember, how His eyes is, you will just feel that His eyes are looking at your own eyes. Connect with Him. Observe the communication that is flowing through His eyes. This is the opportunity for you to reconnect. You are in each other's presence in this moment. What you always wanted to hear from Him, allow that to be spoken to you. Don't bring in any judgments of how He has been to you before. Just allow what you always wanted to hear from Him. Let Him speak to you through His eyes, through His voice, through His touch. Observe all the sensations that you are feeling. Allow yourself to speak to Him all you ever wanted to share with Him. Be it your pain, be it your happiness, whatever you're sharing, He's listening to you. He's giving his total unconditional presence to you. And he's understanding you, understanding your pain. And he is telling you, encouraging you to be with your emotions, to be with your own power. He's encouraging you, leading you.
So you can keep on feel that you are going higher and higher along with your father, reaching to the top of the mountain. Once you both reach to the top of the mountain, the father is showing the whole world. So in this moment you are telling an advance gratitude, sharing a gratitude for your future life. You are telling to him, thank you, my dear father, for giving me the courage to follow my dreams. You are sharing the gratitude in advance for your future life. Thank you, my dear father, for giving me the courage to follow my dreams, the strength to face adversities, the voice to set boundaries, the clarity to discern, the confidence to succeed. Thank you, my dear Father, for giving me the courage to follow my dreams, the strength to face adversities, the voice to set boundaries, the clarity to discern, the confidence to succeed.
Thank you, Father, for giving me the courage to follow my dreams, the strength to face adversities, the voice to set boundaries, the clarity to discern, and the confidence to succeed. You can sense the peace deep within him. You can feel his hands on your head, blessing you. Feel the energy flowing down through your head to your whole of your body, to your whole of your being. Feel the protective energy from your Father. Notice and sense the vibrations of the energy rippling throughout your body. He is honoring you unconditionally, without any judgments. He is admiring you and accepting you the way you are. And you are accepting him and acknowledging him the way he is, however he is. Allow yourself to have that deep embrace, that deep hug you always wanted to experience from your father. Hug him heart to heart, and your hands are below his hands, and his hands are above you. Know that you are his child.
This moment, take a deep breath, inhale as much as you can. Feel the new energy which is experiencing inside by completely acknowledging the Father. When you are ready, you can bring your awareness back to your body from all that space, slowly withdrawing your awareness from the mountain and completely feel your Father's presence inside your right side of your heart. Feel His presence inside the right side of your heart. And feel the presence of your mother on the left side of your heart. At the same time, you can experience your mother's father, father's father, mother's great grandfather, father's great grandfather, mother's great great grandfather, father's great great grandfather, and all that fathers are totally including beyond the fears, melting away all that dangers, total inclusion into this family. The father energies are completely embracing. In this moment onwards, you don't need to parent your father or mother. You are free to live your life. They are protected by their father and their mother. So here we completely including the father energy into the system and feel that vibration, feel the experience. And when you are ready, you can slowly rubbing your palms, placing on your eyes and open your eyes. You can drink some water.
You wish to share, you can share, or else we'll just go home.
I want
Well,
to share.
oh,
No,
sorry,
no.
just something very brief. Even though I think or I felt I had a great connection with my dad, it was amazing to reconnect with him again in a different level, in a different situation. But it has been just wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity to feel this great connection with him. Thank you so much to both of you. Thank you.
Griselda, you can also intend to receive some message from him, and whenever you fall asleep or when you are going to wake up, just be aware of the thoughts that is coming. That is the message from him. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
Smita.
Hi, Preeti. So, it was such a beautiful experience. I mean, I started, the session before when we were starting, it was like I was almost feeling heavy. Uh, it was a different feeling of I feel like crying, but now I'm overwhelmed and I feel like crying. So, um, beginning when we did that first exercise, at that time I was feeling that heaviness in my head. Soon after we saw, imagine the looking at the moon. So, I've been kind of stuck with my relationship with my father in the last almost 20 years now. So, but in the last few years, ever since my daughter's come, there's been some development. But I feel through her there has been changes. But again, probably my way of looking at it must have been wrong, because I was very adamant that because since childhood I was very close to my father. I was very close. Like out of all three of us girls, I used to be like the boy. So I wanted to always make him happy. So, and no, I used to enjoy whatever he does as well. So I used to try doing things, whatever he did. And I'm very proud that he's made us all very independent, all three of us girls. And today's meditation, after a certain point, I went all the way to the day, I think, probably from the day I was born. So it was so emotional. In that, step by step, each stage of my growth. And then, he hasn't changed. It is my point of view which had changed. So it took me even back to the time in 2015. There was a time when I was going through some really rough patch, and I was like in a position of thinking of leaving everything in Dubai. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave everything and go back home. And there was one day, I think, when I was sitting in meditation, and I think in one of our old sessions or healings I had shared this. Even that I came, and that also came in today's meditation now. So in that meditation, what to say, I am seeing my father when he's 18-year-old, and we are having a conversation. So in that conversation, I am 20 something and he's 18. So he's telling me, what are you scared of? There's nothing that you need to be scared. Whatever, why are you scared of being fair? What to say? You will just go ahead. Don't worry. You have everybody's protection. You are being taken care of. And then, because when I'm started to see that 18-year-old child, it's only at the end of that meditation that day I'm realizing it's my own father, because I didn't recognize him. He's an 18-year-old boy. So he's explaining to me, and he's telling me his how he reached Dubai. He went through the launch. He was even the jail in Gujarat. He's showing me. I'm seeing all these images, and then he's telling me. Then I'm saying, in the end, I'm realizing it was my father. He's like, I've been through so many things. You have the strength to, what to say, endure even so many other things. You will reach wherever you have to reach. So all those things, even though I remembered everything, somewhere I had forgotten a few things. Then today, in the end, the beautiful thing was like that mountain and the water and everything. At a point, it's like we see in these cartoons, like from the beginning, he's first time in his arms when we were born, and then as I'm walking up, I am holding his hands. Then I'm walking. Now I reached my age, of my current age, and it was so emotional. I mean, but I can't. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because I knew for me to move forward, I had to heal this with my father. And somewhere I was very much stuck. And yeah, I'm so happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are also happy for you.
Yes, so happy.
Yeah, Judy.
Hi. Like Priya knows, I lost my father at 7, and from very childhood, I was brought up in an extended family, and I had gone through lots of ups and downs, lots of positives, people who loved me to their heart, but people who, give trouble and all those things. Every moment I had trouble, I used to write poems, sometimes while I'm studying, probably in my rough book, and all the poems were addressed to my daddy. Like, oh my dad, I am so sad, I do go mad, like, it went like that. So sometimes my teachers used to, like, when I was in college, our teacher, one of our English teachers, she wanted to see the annotations, and she took my rough book and she saw the poem, and she said, Juby, you should publish it in the college magazine. I told, no, I'll do something else, another poem for that. Like, it was like everything addressed to daddy, because I felt that, I had a feeling of like he was a holy man, like, who loved everybody, who was very pious, who was gentle to everybody, who was loving, forgiving. Or he is the he is the epitome of, a good human being for me in my mind. So I always looked upon him. Whenever my mommy used to say, she's so hard as a rock, she doesn't cry. Because I don't cry before people, I go to the washroom or I go to my bedroom, lock my door, and cry to daddy. Daddy, why did you leave? Sometimes I go in front of the mirror and tell him, I see my reflection in the mirror, but I see you there. So, I just want your help. So even after marriage, I used to go. So even when I had trouble with, people during my married life, whenever I had trouble, I used to tell my husband, let's go to daddy's tomb. So we lived in that city. So uh, even when he did not approve of many of, 99% of what I did or said, this 1% he approved of. So every time we had trouble, we used to go to the church, and we used to go to the cemetery where my daddy was buried, and we used to pray, and felt such a lot of, soft experience, consoling experience. But still, I had trouble, like, even every time I called upon him, every time I went through dangers, I went through risks, I went through hardships, I went through so much of pain. But still, at the peak of that pain, you know some from somewhere I escaped. So I don't go into the depth of what I was going. I should have gone more deeper into that, painful depths. But I know that somewhere at the peak, maybe people won't understand when I say this, because they think, oh, she went through so much hardship, she cried a lot, and so she was not helped by her daddy. But still, even at this moment, I feel maybe I escaped at that peak moment of hurts because of him, interceding for me. He was a holy soul. He is with God and he is powerful now. That's what I feel. I cannot convince everybody around me. I can convince him because he sees, hears, knows everything, even my heart, because he is a spirit now. He's a soul now, not in his body. So, but But for the past few years, like when I went through so much of trouble and when I was not in my own self, I don't think I called upon him with so much intensity as I used to, like a child, every time going to daddy. Like, uh, like sometimes I used to be angry at him. Why did you leave? You should have been here. But still, he was calm to me, like, consoling me. And, like, but for the past few years, when I was going through this meditation, I was feeling like, I was not that close to him in heart these days. Maybe I did not call upon him so intensely as I used to do before, like his daughter. So I had tears in my eyes when it all happened, all the meditation, but it was not sadness. I don't know what emotion it was. Was it joy? I don't know. It was not sadness for sure, but I had tears in my eyes. And he called me Paravamol. That means birdie. So he, like, that's a word he called me when he used to pet me, like, Ende Paravamol. I hadn't remembered this name for a long, maybe for decades, I don't know. All on a sudden, when I was hugging him, like, he was hugging me, like, and he was calling me and saying me in my ears, Ende Paravamole. And then he was showing me from the top of the mountain to the blue sky and telling me, Ende Paravamole, Daddy Kunyile Parayarle Molde Kai Eduthu Vechittu, you will reach top of, everything, like, go with confidence, fly. Priya knows, whenever I had so much of hardships, even the one thing that kept me going is my academics. So, it was he who was pushing me. Jubi, learn. You have to reach there. You have to prove yourself. Like, so, you have to jump across all the barriers and reach there. So this time it was like I was very depressed and like I'm nowhere where I was. I was telling Priya last day, like, you wouldn't know. I am not the person who you knew, years back. Like, even I cannot accept myself, like, you're not you. So my daddy is telling me, like, and the paramole, like you dreamt before, dream. Like I dreamt for you, dream, soar to the sky. Like, be confident. I'm with you. I will never leave you. I'm with you like before, but call upon me like you used to do when you were so young. That's my experience now.
That's
I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Jyoti, for sharing that.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, Sweta.
Hi. First of all, it was a very, very beautiful experience. I had a huge release, emotional release. ഭയങ്കര ഒരു റിലീസ് ഉണ്ടായി. I cried a river, I would say. And എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ ഈ ഒരു വേർഷൻ എനിക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും ചിന്തിക്കാത്ത കാര്യമാണ്. I mean, he was the most accepting, unconditionally loving father. അതൊരു വല്ലാത്തൊരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ my body was vibrating a lot. It was shaking. ഇടയ്ക്ക് even after the meditation, I got a shooting pain on the right side of my head. പിന്നെ the other part, I mean, all the fathers coming together, that was an amazing part. പിന്നെ ഈ മെഡിറ്റേഷൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇതുവരെ സംഭവിക്കാത്ത ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ലൈക്ക് my light started flickering. So in between the meditation, I had to go and get up and turn off the light. I felt like obstacles are coming to that healing process. അങ്ങനെ I felt it that way. But anyways, overall, I think I have released a lot of emotions today. So, and that was a very beautiful description. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Lights flickering was your ancestors' presence there.
My God. My God, I would love to think of it that way. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm not simply saying it, I am saying it properly.
What? I didn't get you.
I didn't simply say it, that's the way they communicate.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
Thank you. You're amazing, right? So we'll wind up for today. We'll keep a proper class for this. Yeah. Proper class to release your wounds, healing your wounds with your father and maybe with your mother also. We can do that, and of course we can do individual sessions also, that's different, but group meditations and group classes has a different energy, so we can plan for a class like that. We had not thought about it, but today it came. Okay, so thank you so much every one of you present
Jada,
here.
can I, sorry to break you. I'm feeling damn sleepy, but I have a question. Probably it's like a dumbest question because I'm sleepy. Uh, in your in old age, the women used to take more power, mother used to take more power, and father used to be very silent in most of our households, right? So what is the reason for that? Is it like is it their chemistry, or like, almost in every house the women will achieve power, and they will uh, the grandmother, or like you can say anything, like grandmother will handle everything, and grandfather will just like be.
It's different in different family. It's your experience like that, but my experience is entirely different.
Yeah, mostly it's like yeah,
No.
totally, but like,
Yeah, there was a
yeah,
time, like in Kerala, there was a time wherein the
Yeah.
mothers had more power, and then after some time, it all changed into the fathers having more power. It's all a way of bringing into balance. Right now, we can see that we are all striving to bring in a balance. We don't want one person high and one person low. It's not going to work like that. We all have experimented all that, right? So each family is learning differently. So in your family, the mother has had more power than the father, then there is something for you to learn from there. So and change it and not become high or low. Just when you are experiencing the partnership, especially husband and wife, they should be in an equal space. Otherwise, there will be always imbalance. Why they are not in the equal space? Yes, inner child healing is necessary, ancestral healing is necessary. So, a lot of belief systems are holding on to that. So we can release those beliefs. And Adi, you have learned how to change the beliefs and all that. So you can see what beliefs your ancestors are holding, take learning and change the belief. Okay?
yeah, thanks, Siji. No, yeah.
It's like, when we see with our perception, we feel the whole world is like that. It's not like that. Everywhere it's different.
Yeah.
So what we are experiencing is our world.
Okay.
Okay, so let us all change our perception for a better future, better present. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
opening
Thank
our
you.
hearts wider.